This is a framework laptop. I've been waiting for this for a few weeks now. I just heard about it a few years ago, as many of you would have. And it was a great idea, just as with many startups, it doesn't work out well. But my MacBook was having compatibility issues with some of the work I needed to do for engineering. And I thought, well, I looked into many laptops and I was very close to getting a Surface Pro, the new ones with the Snapdragon X Elite. And I was so close, I put a bid on eBay and everything, but I cancelled that when I realized I just have similar compatibility issues. And then I found out about framework and I was actually been doing pretty well. So I went with the framework. I was very undecided between the 13 and 16 inch. But for the screen size, basically, that's the main reason I went with the 16 inch. Because my eyes have just been struggling a bit the past few months. So I don't know why I didn't bring a knife here, but framework's got a pretty renewable sort of packaging. So far, just paper and I guess the receipts and billing stuff on the back was a plastic sleeve, but as you would have seen from many other videos, they've just got a lot of paper used instead of plastic, even for these seals. Okay, we finally made some progress there. Anyway, I went to the 16 because, again, of the screen size, and then while its fit and finish isn't as polished as the 13 inch, and I really like how the 13 inch looks and that whole form factor, it is also nice to be able to add a graphics card into the 16, and I'm just hoping that framework continues to succeed and that they will release new graphics cards in time for the 16 inch, because it would be quite a shame if they never end up updating the 16 inch with more graphics cards or motherboards. But they've done that with 13 inch, which gives a good indication that they'll do the same for the 16. So again, lots of cardboard, nice packaging. You don't need to make Apple-like packaging and have a lot of plastic. I know Apple has reduced plastic a lot as well, but this is still way better. Don't know what this sleeve is for. I think stickers, or some people on the subreddits using a lot of these stickers on their device, and I think I'll put on a few as well. Here's a big instruction manual, and I'll either look through this or the websites to make sure I'm not missing any tiny detail, because while these things are well designed, even PC experts that I've seen on other channels, they recommend and personally go through the instructions themselves. And there's lots of tips, like you don't want to miss the heatsink for the storage and RAM as well. This bezel packaging is interesting. So I got the black bezel. With the 13, I was really going to go for the gray bezel, but there's no gray bezel on the 16 at the moment, just lavender and orange and black. Here's my clear keyboard. Pretty keen on this, and I've got labels here because occasionally I just need to look at the keyboard and recognize the number and symbol, and I don't want to be slowed down by that. But I do like the aesthetic of the clear keyboard as well. I don't know what this is on the finger, maybe just from opening the packaging. But anyway, we'll put this to the side for now. The spaces I went with gray, maybe to complement the design better, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. I haven't seen anyone else do it for the 16. I went to the macro pad because I'm getting such a premium laptop anyway, and as someone who's going to be doing programming and is doing programming, it'll help me handy to have these shortcuts, and I can just label them as well, or treat it like a normal number pad, I guess. I'm not too familiar with what can be done. I just know it's quite customizable. In terms of ports, I went with two red USB-C expansion ones, one for charging and one if I need to connect to anything else. Went with the new SD card. I'd really almost never use SD cards, but it's just good to have, and because shipping is like 30 Australian dollars, I thought I'll just get it now rather than getting these modules later. There are some third-party stores, but I'm not sure how much I can trust them at the moment, even though the shipping cost is lower. USB-A, and this is going to save me today because my storage, my M.2 Samsung 990 Pro that I ordered, I don't know when that's coming. Maybe Amazon says by next week Friday, so over a week. But they also said that about the RAM, and that's actually coming today as well. So I should be able to plug into this 2TB hard drive and run Windows off of there. Yes, I might install Linux in a future point, but for now I just need something working with great compatibility. So that's the plan for now. And HDMI, because you get the most common ports for displays when you go anywhere like university or in general TVs is HDMI. And HDMI can support 4K 60, I think max. But in future, and at the moment I've just got a very cheap, basic, you can see it, I got this for 10 Australian dollars because I sold my 4K monitor before and I thought I was going to move somewhere. But it didn't end up happening for now at least. So just wanted the basic monitor for now, but in future I'd want to get one of those 4K 144 Hz or 240 Hz OLED monitors. So that's where this comes in, the DisplayPort expansion card, which can run, I believe, 4K 240 Hz. So I can plug in all 6 of these ports in one go, which is also another advantage of the 16 versus the 13. But honestly, I would take the 13 if they could scale it up and make it 15, 16 inches. And if that only 4 ports, I'd still take that, probably, because of the design of the 16. It's just not as refined, but anyway, I'm happy with this. I hope I'm happy, but they have a 30-day return policy. So if I'm really unhappy upon testing it, I will go with the 13. I'll return this and get the 13 again. So they don't have any plastic wrapping. This is a nice, I'm sure, fully recyclable piece of packaging here on the laptop. Feels fairly hefty, but it's actually like on par with the 16-inch MacBook Pro's weight. Thickness, I don't really care about. Like even the new MacBook Pros are pretty thick. So I went with the Ryzen 7 because the Ryzen 9 is barely a performance boost and much more expensive. Just as the new AMD cards coming out and CPUs coming out and new Intel Lunar Lake I think is coming out, or that just came out, and people are waiting for Arrow Lake, but Framework is usually a little bit delayed compared to everyone else because they're a smaller company and so on, and they want other companies to do some testing first, which makes sense. And the whole upgradability thing is that I don't have to stress too much. If Framework continues to be a thriving company, then there's nothing to worry about. The first impressions just of the build reminds me of when I tried out a Surface Book like 8 years ago. Just that magnesium aluminium blend, I think. There's a tiny little mark here. Doesn't really matter, like it's fine. But yeah, even the smell of this thing smells like the Surface Book from all those years ago. Give me a sniff there. But the 16, again, you've got this like black part here, which is fine, and it allows you to put that graphics card in there as well if you want. Would have been about a $60 upgrade, but if you need graphics stuff anyway, it's going to use more battery, and for now I'm not really doing much CAD or intensive 3D work or anything, and gaming is fine and pretty good actually on the default integrated graphics anyway. So I'll get that later, and I'll get it when it's a higher powered GPU they offer, or even I might consider an eGPU setup which can deliver more performance at the moment. So you've got your 6 USB-C ports. There's different ideal ports for power optimization and stuff and display outputs, but if you really wanted to save some money, I think I spent maybe like $150 in total on all those ports, but you really don't need to go get the ports now or ever really. It's just that the ports would reduce the strain on the motherboard, like if you put these expansion cards in. But yeah, that's another way you could save some money. Just leave out the ports for now or never get them at all. And let's have a look at this now finally. Anything here? I didn't get the charging brick or RAM or storage from Framework, but the power brick is pretty impressive, 180 watts. So at 180 watts for no discrete graphics makes it not necessary from what I've read. I don't think there's anything behind here. But yeah, if you're on the fence, just go with the Framework power adapter. But in future they might release like a 240 watt adapter, which the USB protocols should support. Okay, so the lid, let's lift it up for the first time. Wow, so pretty nice hinge opening. You see people testing the flex of the lid, and I'm not going to do that. Like, you can test it slightly, but I don't care. Just be normal with your laptop usage and just open it gently. And especially when I add the bezel, I think it adds some sort of structural support. You've got the plastic here as well, and obviously people prefer if you don't have plastic at all. So hopefully they can find a way to make it a renewable or compostable material instead, but I think they went. It's pretty thick as well. Might be recyclable, but I'm not too sure. It depends on where you live. Anyway, so maybe they can switch that to a more cardboard-like material. But for now, it adds just structural integrity to prevent damage while shipping. So biggest thing with the 16 is these spaces. I don't know the name. I think these are spaces compared to these ones here. But the point is that the biggest complaint with the fit and finish people have had is that these might not be flush, might not line up well enough. But just from initial impressions, I know this is not the pre-order unit or the early unit. Like, this has been out for many months now. It doesn't even have a batch number as far as I could tell. This feels very pretty good to me. Like, I'm sure they've improved the quality control, and so it feels pretty smooth. I do notice a tiny bit of you can see a little bit of a difference in height there. The left side is a lot better with that, but it doesn't bother me much. Like, my finger's not, or my wrist is not really going to be on that side. So yeah, I'm waiting for the RAM to come, which should come within the next few hours, and I can then use my hard drive. But there's not much point in me opening this up for now. I'll look in the instructions. This is where the GPU I think would connect. I think, or there's something like that you have to do that for the GPU. But what can I do for now? I can put in these expansion cards in the spaces. So, and the keyboard, of course. Let me start with the bezel, I think. So the bezel, how do I open this in the least damaging way? Didn't like the sound of that, but I don't think anything bad happened. Very lightweight. Obviously, it's kind of got that cheap feeling, but it's fine. Okay, this is magnetic, so let's just see how that clicks on. it's got some adhesive at the bottom, so it can stick on. I believe you remove some of these if you want to get that extra tight fit, but I just want to keep it modular for now, and if there are some gaps, then maybe I'll remove it and attach that tape. Okay, so I'm getting it to snap. Another complaint people have had is that it pinches the screen, so it causes like extra like bleed with the backlight sort of thing, but we'll see how that goes. I don't think it will be an issue at this stage of production. I also like with the 13-inch, the hinge opens 180 degrees flat. I just got like a bit of fear, like what if I push it too far, or in some case like it goes back too far, and unfortunately the 16 doesn't go back that far. The box is kind of in the way at the moment, but it does go back a lot further than the MacBooks go. There's a bit of dust on the bezel, but it's fine. And we've got the nice privacy switches, which is really nice. Obviously having this is great, and I would encourage other manufacturers to do this. So I think to disable is just like that, where it's on the red state. So I'll just keep it off by default and then turn it on when needed. Yeah, so the back bezel, this chin here, just adds that like in the gap in between the common gaming laptop sort of aesthetic, and it looks cheaper to me than like maybe a glossy bezel, or if I could have gone with a grey color. But looking at it now in person, it's really not that bad. Like I didn't get to test, well obviously there's no like frameworks in store, so I didn't get to test that, but pretty happy with it actually. And it's more about function over form. The upgradability you're getting, the ability to add graphics, if there's any issues you can repair or get replacement parts, and the warranty. Customer service is a bit, you know, like questionable at the moment, but I think that's something that will continue to improve, and you can always escalate your case if needed. So yeah, made with love by the Framework team, and you can tell that they put a lot of care into this. Working for Framework, that's something I would like to do once, well, whenever I can. If there's any remote jobs, or at some point, if I can go there and work there as an intern or graduate. This is the trackpad as well, because it's not going to be as good as a MacBook, but I don't care. Like people say this is small, but I've used the 2012 MacBook Pro before, and I'm coming from just the 2021 MacBook Pro 14-inch, and the click is nice. It's got a good click to it. It doesn't click at the top, but that's also never been much of an issue to me. Like I'm fine with just clicking at the bottom, and I want to use my MX Master. After hearing about it for years, finally bought one secondhand for like $50. MX Master 3S, which should give me all like the same functionality as having the trackpad in macOS. And I've been using it on my Mac and been enjoying it thoroughly. And it's better for wrist supports and stuff anyway. Anyway, this is getting long, so let me move on and plug in some ports. So the configuration, I don't remember exactly. I know the USB-C ports are on the back, so I'll start with those. In terms of display ports, yeah, I don't remember exactly. I'll modify those afterwards. So I went with the red one, I like the color red, and it just makes it, I guess, more easy to tell, like, with less care where your charging port is, basically. So it just stands out. And with the 13-inch, I wanted to go with the clear keyboard, square bezel for the clean look. So I was going to get the regular colored USB-C. But with this, since it's just a less clean design overall, I thought it's fine. Let me just go with the red ones only. It doesn't really matter. It's less of a clean look, but it's functional. So very nice sort of red color here. Let's just try sticking that in. Just get the space for that. Clicks in very nicely. I guess in terms of shipping and how much fuel and emissions that outputs into the environment and stuff, the box is so big that it definitely adds that sort of environmental factor as well. So maybe the packaging could be reduced in size, but the fact that this is upgradable and easily repairable, I think overall does more good than bad. And packaging size then doesn't make as much of an impact. But Framework publishes a very detailed, I think, third-party report of the environmental impact. So that's something you can check out on their website. Very nice click. So with the 16-inch, you've got these latches that you can open and close, I think. Like you have to hold it back or flick it when you want to open stuff out. So it's not just going to like fly out. There's a misconception that with these laptops, it'll just like fall apart if it's in your bag, or it's going to be loose and not well constructed. But this is very well built so far. Okay, let's keep it moving. USB-A. So depending on where you plug it, again, it could consume more power than needed on these AMD laptops. Can't remember, and yeah, I'll double check, but for now let's just stick it on that side. Display ports. Oh shit, that's fine. Display ports, I don't remember again, but let's just go with this. Shit, that's the wrong way. No, okay, that's fine. So I've got a display port on that side, so again, if it's configured right, then it's nice. Or if I'm able to, I think I can, I'll have an HDMI on one side and a display port on the other side for potential flexibility with that. But DisplayPort is more ideal from what I've read. Like HDMI kind of converts to DisplayPort anyway over USB-C. So there's not much need for HDMI other than it being just the form factor of port that's most common. So that's the main reason I have HDMI. And this is the new port they have. There's been like, I've been obsessively watching all the framework videos I've found, especially new ones. But I actually ran out of like all 16-inch framework videos to watch on YouTube. But anyway, people do benchmarks on this, on the SD card, and they found it's pretty fast actually compared to a lot of the other adapters you can get. I don't know if it's as fast as the built-in sort of SD cards on the MacBooks, but again, I'm not using this all the time and waiting a few more seconds, if not minutes, when I use an SD card maybe once a year, once every 2 years, or even just if it was more regular than that, doesn't really matter. So anyway, we've got some, I think, ventilation. I think fan input is here, but ventilation at the bottom. This is the keyboard.